The male partner in marriage is called a husband. That is my definition. I don't know about you. Welcome. This is the marriage series, and today I have a man of God in the house. He's a husband, he's a father, he's married for so many years. He's a counselor, especially when it comes to marriage. And I have the privilege of having him once again on this program. Reverend Jim, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Sister Dorcas, she's also a wife. She has so many children and is married for a long time, a period of time. And today, she's also here to share with us, if you talk about a husband, who is he? How can you identify him as your husband? Welcome. This is the marriage series. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and on the notification button. And anytime you post a video, you'll be able to watch it. Thank you, Reverend and Sister Dorcas, for coming on the program once again.
Thank you.
Last week, you were busy talking about who a wife is. And today, we are back again with another episode of Want to Know Who a Husband Is. So I would like to start with you, Reverend, when we talk about a husband. Who is he?
As we gave the definition, we said a wife is a woman in a marital relationship. So
Yeah.
I think in a vice versa, we can use the same definition as a husband is a man in a marital relationship. And so who is a husband? A husband, when you bring biblical way, a man that has left the father and mother and has cleaved to the wife. That is a husband.
Also, let's look at where we live. Do you see such men here?
Oh, okay. One, when we go to the biblical aspects, I think what Apostle Paul told the people of Ephesus, that is Ephesians chapter number 5. If you read from the 22 going, he said, husbands, loved your wife. So, and he gave an analogy of how Christ, being a husband, loved his church to the point that he sacrificed his life for the church so that through his blood and through his word, he may cleanse it and purify it and makes it holy. You understand? So, not everybody is a husband. I think a husband is the one who loves the wife. And I think when we talk about the word love there, the Greek word use the word eros or eros, which means it speaks about romantic love. But when we come to the aspect of the analogy, it means that if you are a husband, you need to love your wife. And if you loved your wife, it means that you think about the well-being of that woman. You care, you put her needs at first. And then you care about her emotions. You care about her feelings. You care about her needs. Do you understand? So, being a husband comes with a responsibility. And I said to become marriage is not for girls. So also marriage is not for boys. So a good husband needs to also develop, needs to be matured in terms of mentality. He should be emotionally strong and also has the zeal to work. You understand? A good husband needs to take good care of his home. So when we talk about a good husband, let's come, or who is a husband? Let's come in our setting, because if you are taking care, the Bible describes the husband as the head of the family or the house. And so it encourages the woman to submit to your own husband. So it doesn't mean the woman should submit to all men, but your own husband.
Okay.
It means that until somebody can submit to you, the person knows that you loved her. Because if you love me, you think about my well-being. So if I'm giving my authority willingly, because one of the things we should understand that men and women are created on the same level. So if the Bible says submit to, it is not force, but willingly surrendering your authority to your husband. That makes him a head. And before you do that, you need to recognize that this man loves me. You understand? So one of the cardinal things that is needed from a husband is love. You see, when you love, you care about the well-being of that person. And so you care about your children, you care about providing, you care about their feelings, satisfying the woman, because even when it was talking about love, it spoke about what we call erotic love. So it has to do with also sexual satisfaction. Is a role of a husband. Let me land because I can see Dorcas laughing, so she wants to come in.
Dorcas, tell me, who is a husband? Is there a difference between a husband and a father?
Yes, before I say that,
Yeah.
I want to define a husband from my own side.
Yeah.
I believe somebody who can call himself a husband is someone who has finished sampling and then sit down and make up his mind that
Sampling, how do you mean?
No, sampling, yeah.
any man does sampling before they choose that this is the one I want to be with.
But somebody doesn't understand.
Sampling means, if I say the man has finished sampling,
Yeah.
They
Well,
did
far
here
away.
and there.
yes,
Okay.
we date way, when who say way sexually or you good, we date way, when who say way, the sick as someone in the casa or you good, we date way, when who say third one no, or was our qualities na you know omolake no, and a white sinner Juni P said this is the one I want to live with. Any man who wire sad and when you say experiences now, I think that in a way no, if that man makes up his mind say it is you that or no better now, then that person is a husband for me.
So what's the difference between a husband and a father?
You can always have a husband. You can always have a husband, as I said earlier on. But for you to have a father comes with bigger responsibilities. Because at the end of the day, you know, Udi obi ebe wiase. And this child now wouldn't ebe wiase no. It's a different thing altogether. Now, if you are a father, because you are the head of the house, Obano is sure say wona will be training, especially when the child is a boy. I shouldn't even bring this specification, but when the child is a boy, how can I say this man is a father? An example is this man that we are saying is a father can be a father when he's able to work out everything perfectly. Papa way free fear, ne papa elbow ne mami debia. Papa way free fear, the father didn't take care of him. Papa way free fear, Ne maame ankyerɛ ne papa love bia based on the abuse the father was giving to ne maame. And this man has become a father with a child, with all this psychological and emotional and everything boxed up in his brain. On call any counseling, on call she, but on so oba. If that father is able to conquer his fears, all these things in his brain to nurture a child to become a good boy or a good man, I call that person a father. If that man is able to see, say, ne papa and no, but he's able to give money to his child, care for his child, take care of the needs of the child, emotionally, psychologically, be there for the child, I call that person a father. And how will I know all these things? Because I dated that person, I want to know your background. So if I know all these things of your background, and you could nurture my child to become a man, a responsible person, I call you a father. I always say that a husband should always communicate with a woman. It's most important, very, very important in the marriage. Baby, I will call. Baby, just say, ubi bia ubi bia. I dare see when he say because yedi be mana ye lead nintino. We take everything he's giving us. Whatever the woman is giving to the man is whatever she's receiving from him. Women are naturally moved by what they hear. And I believe that men are moved by what they see. That is my understanding. So if I'm living with a man who is communicating well with me about everything, about yesikasem, about my sexual acts, about enkola, about a jumem bibia, I think that is a goal for me.
Yeah. Also, what can you add?
You see, Dorcas says something. She said, if a man is coming from a background that the father did not play his responsibility as a father, or take his responsibility as a father, or did not play the role as a father in their children, and this man is able to take care of his children, then it means that this man is a father. And it prompted me to something that I want to share, because experiences are very good, but what you learn from it could either be a limitation or a springboard to promote you. Yeah. So they are very, very important. For instance, I did not enjoy that fatherly role in my life. You understand? Yeah. And the way fathers were taking care of their children, I did not see it like that. Not that my father did not care, but I think, and I can say I love my father. You understand? I love him irrespective of those things. But there is something I said to myself, that I will never let any of my children go through what I went through. Because it got to some point I saw that my father was not having the boldness to ask me something when they need be. Why? Because maybe there was some psychological play or something. You understand? Yeah. And so that turned me into a good man. So whatever you go through, what you experience, what you learn from it, they are very important. Don't let the experiences be a limitation. Because one, it takes a good husband to be a responsible father. If you are not able to take care of the woman that you are living with, how will you be able to even take care with the children that she brings? That also. Because That is why I made mention of the word love. When that love is a key in that home, whatever comes out of the woman also is something that you cherish. I don't know if you
Yeah, I
understand.
know what it.
Because if we consider, let's take it for instance, Jacob loved Rachel to the extent that God needed to cause Rachel to be a barren. Otherwise, you understand?
Yeah.
Because anything that came also from Rachel was cherished to the extent that even the place of Reuben were given to the children of Joseph. I don't know if we,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a very first point that as a husband we should care about our wife. And then when we talk about this care, it's not only providing, it's not only communicating. Communicating aspect is very important, but she led the communication aspect too. Because let me tell you, if you don't communicate, there is no way there will be sexual satisfaction. So communication is one of the most essential ingredients in every marriage or every relationship. How often do we communicate? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Are we able to share? Because one of the word used love, word called love in English, from the Greek perspective is what we call philia or filio. It speaks about companionship. When we talk about companionship has to do with what? Deeper friendship. So Apostle Paul told the Corinthians, the Romans, he said, let brotherly love and sisterly love lead. You understand? So that love is very important. If I love you, I should be able to communicate everything. I don't have to hide anything. I should be able to share. When I have, it belongs to you. And this is the aspect we should also understand it very well. Because if we understand it, it will help us. 1 + 1 in marriage is not 2. So if that oneness is there, but nobody also will be able to give that oneness when they are not sure. So it is the responsibility of the husband to help the woman to develop trust. And it is the responsibility of the woman also to help the husband to develop trust. So you see, hands go, hands come. Yeah. And when it comes like that, whatever comes in, you see, when children comes in, especially people who are living in abroad, let me come in for instance. You could check our environment that most men neglect their responsibilities as men. And they give the burdens to women. And when I look at that thing, it reminds me during the old days where we lived in Achim. You understand? But I believed it is the responsibility of a father, because what makes you a father? Fatherhood has to do with taking care of your children. Fatherhood has to do with directing your children, training them the way they should go. It is not the responsibility of the woman alone. Even it is the responsibility for a father to raise a child. You understand? Let's take it for instance. When you study psychology, there was this doctrine from Sigmund Freud that talks about Oedipal complexes and erectile distance. Women, girls, are mostly attracted to their fathers. Do you understand? So, if your father is not there for especially girl child, you are psychologically affecting them negatively. In a sense that the girls are building their worldview about men through their father. What they see their fathers doing. If fathers are training their wives, if fathers are treating their wives very well, if fathers are showing love to their wives, if fathers are showing love to their children, how you treat even your spouse is very important, because your children are building. And the same way how a woman treats their husband. If you had a boy child, that is the worldview you are giving them about women. and they are very important. So as a father, you need to take your fatherhood responsibility. Take care of the children. Help the children to do their homework. Know what is going on in their lives. Sometimes call them, have a conversation. Sometimes take them out, share some jokes, so that they will be able, when they tell you something that baffles your mind, don't scream. You see, when it comes to parenting, what we are lacking in our community is that parents, especially fathers, are good in shouting and terrifying their children. You understand?
Yeah.
Without telling them the reason why they don't have to do what they are saying they should not do. I believe be a good father, be a responsible father. You should be able to communicate with your children so that they know the consequences of their actions. And when you are not there, because they know the consequences, they will never dare do it. Are you with me? But when you shout them without telling them the reason, without telling them the danger involved, then you will see them. You see, I have seen people who have restricted their children to the point that by the time they realize that the girls are pregnant, they didn't see them going out. But the child is pregnant. Why? Because they never sit the child down, educate the child how to take care of yourself. This is the consequences when you engage in premarital sex, when you give yourself to boys. Let them know the consequences, especially the negative ones, so that it will deter them from getting involved. But when all these things are not done, and you leave all these responsibilities to your wife alone, there is a limit a woman can go.
So, Mammy found Dorcas. Because we can go on and go on and go on because also, you know.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, so
Dorcas, the most important aspect of husbands, you kunum, and near me when ya pa bema ya warrior no ejina pa pacho me bi.
The mechanic say, I started earlier on saying that what the man is giving the woman is what the woman is giving back to the man. What I think Ebema question any day say Ebema wa do kunu.
No, say our warrior need to me ejina healthy. You would have a healthy marriage. Yeah.
One is for the woman to be submissive. That is what I believe. And how can a woman be submissive? I always want to use myself as an example because I always want us to see the thing, how practical the thing is. With me sitting here, I read a lot. I want to have a knowledge of everything. And with you being my husband, you should know who you are dealing with. Don't come with any adadabia because baby, I will free bano. The fact that I'm quiet and being submissive doesn't mean I don't know. One, if you want me to be submissive, you need to accord me the same respect. Give me the respect you want me to come before you. Second, sexual aspect of the marriage is very important to me. Because why would I say this? When I met you earlier on, I know how you see me. How I'm able to turn you on and everything. Now, I've given birth. My C-section, my tummy is big. I'm expecting you to see me still that romantic. Because with me, I would want to do things that will still turn you on. And what is the response that you're giving me? Is it like now, I'm not like how I used to be at first, so now things have changed? You know, with me, you need to check all these things with me. You understand? Yeah. Thirdly, yesikasem. What I don't like is for a man to lie to me about money. As much as we bring love to this thing, love will never destroy the marriage, but money will destroy the marriage. Why am I saying this? when we come back to the Western world where we are living right now, we are all working 9 hours. At the end of the day, I expect that we should, this can be go and then set our priorities right. Discuss what we want to do. I want all these things clear, transparency. Thirdly, I want us to do it together. In marriage, when the man makes you feel important, you don't even care about anything anymore. As me or as some of the women, so the way kunuma will feel, and then the man would me or your pamano. You don't come being bossy, it's my money. You don't come being authoritative, it's my life. What am I say? Ye pesa de ni ye juma. We should call each other adie bia wunim se wo ya emmo ba no honto no oba no so adie bia wunim se be ma no honto no. Ye de abroche na e wono. Abrocha wa a different thing altogether. You don't expect me to go to work and send a maye adwuma with 3 kids and come back, cook for you, eat, leave the plate there for me to come and wash it, serve you in a bowl. Sometimes when I'm in the mood and maybe I na me pesa we me adwuma come bia, even when I'm in pain, metuni na go and do it. But that should not be the norm of the day. And sometimes some of the men should just read from the women. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Pastor always talk about our culture. From where you titi ye free, you share your mommy money your papa mo. Our mothers get tired, but they still serve our fathers. Ain't you fine? As much as my brain no cry, I want to serve you. As a man, you should also own up and come and say, I'm a brain. Let me help you out. Women like that. It's only your girl child that you should pamper. You need to pamper your wife before you pamper your daughter. Because before the daughter and these children, I had you. We had each other. You understand? Until with the marriage and with all these things moving forward, we should realize that marriage is work. Constant work. We need to communicate. Tell me what I'm wearing, you don't like it. Tell me you're putting on weight. Tell me in a very respectful manner. What am I saying? Yeah. You don't come comparing me with somebody for you to tell me I'm not looking good. You don't come telling me, no. You have seen the thing in the house. I'm with you. Yeah. You should be able to tell me, Dorcas, this is what you are doing in a respectful manner. Or baby and you treating a son makes you feel like the queen that you are. I don't think the husband has a problem. Because who or treasure say will fear. Why wouldn't you cherish it? But Ubana say Adebi Hona woni me and can ye na say obey. That is where I also become as a means me person me no watching because I know my rights in a baby. But because a man ye nim senia ye bobi and I senia ye tie until we always come down.
Thank you so much for your input.
I think the idea about the husband, we shall call it wife. But
inquire wife, we are still talking about husband.
But
also for why reason are they cast anything?
I'm coming. One was another aspect we are say mirror fee I did forget has to do with. One of the qualities of a husband also is that you should be able to know the way. You understand? When we talk about knowing the way, it speaks about leadership. You should be able to lead your family. And leading has to do with vision and purpose. You understand? Vision and destination. That defines your purpose. And then as Dorcas said, having that vision, you should be able also to communicate it effectively. Okay. Dorcas also said you should be able to satisfy me.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of sex.
Yeah.
It's very sad that we're living in a community that even most men don't know what we call orgasm. You understand? So I went to do a counseling section conference, somewhere, and a woman who has married for 30 good years told me that she has never reached orgasm. You see, I have an elder who got married. I had an elder who got married, and then the wife came and told me she's leaving the marriage. Then I asked her why. She said, when elder get up, he just sleep on me, whether I am wet or not wet. Because she said, ever since we got married, what we call wetness, I've never experienced. So I see sex as punishment. So these are some of the things that men, we should also have knowledge about it. Let's take it for instance, because some of us, we are growing. So it may be that from the age of 50 and above going, if you are having a woman who is at the age of 50 and above, some of them even enter into their menopausal period earlier.
Yeah.
And then you should know how to prepare this woman to get them there. You understand? As you are growing, your libido sometimes goes down. The same thing applies to the woman when they are in this season. So you need to prepare them. If your strength is going down, you should learn how to foreplay before sex. You understand?
Yeah.
Because I said, when you love somebody, you think about their satisfaction and not yours. So prepare the woman. Even make sure that the woman get there before you even go there with your 2 minutes. You understand?
Yeah.
All these things, they are very, very important. When you are able to do that as a man, when they come home and they are even tired, they will try and prepare the food for you.
Of course.
Of course.
You understand? It's very important, but we ignore it. And most of our elderly people, they don't know. And sometimes, especially, we don't talk these things in the church.
Yeah.
We over-spiritualize everything to the extent that when we talk about even sex, when you mention the word vagina, when you mention the word penis, it's like an abominable something. They can't even say it in Twi unless they say it in English.
Of course.
That is true.
You understand? But these are the things, they are very important. Every man should know. You don't just sleep on the woman and get up and go without asking the woman, how did you feel? The fact that you are satisfied doesn't mean she's satisfied. So ask her. Then sometimes also, a responsible husband, ask your wife, what can I do for you to get to there? Oh, yes. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They are very, 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 very important. And then we should learn also how to give them a helping hand in the home. Especially, as Dorcas has been saying, I agree with that. Even where we are living now, we should put on our ego. And then we should try to help. But when we are trying to help also, the woman should not take it as our responsibility. So when you come one day and it is not done, yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It happens. So please, husbands will be husbands when the wife is playing also their role.
Also, for you mentioned our living here. Some husbands, talk about finances in the marriage. Because of that, we are sharing responsibilities when it comes to, say, ye to your bills, ye to your to be Is it right as a husband to kind of say
that the woman is taking the child support? So when
concerning
you know, the problem has to do with the systems in the marriage. Because if you are putting your finances together, then there will never be something like Nkolasi Kakobaho and then Nkolasi Kakobemaho. Do you understand? Whereby that thing is not there, then they see that, oh, the woman is taking the money of the kids. But let's ask ourselves, what is the purpose of the government giving you that money? The purpose is to take care of the children. It's the children's money. It is not for project. So don't take that money and put it in your pocket and come and ask me. We have to go and buy school bag for the child and I need money. When it comes like that, you have some flexions. But if you put things together, or if what they have given you, you use it and it is not enough, and where there is, she said the word transparency, and so, oh, honey, is not enough. Could you please give me this because I need to buy this also for the children, and the money that I was having is not enough. Every responsible man will give it. But the woman's attitude also towards such monies also breed confusion. And I believe in as much as the men, we are talking to men to take a look at this side also. The women also should try to take, because Dorcas, she said she doesn't believe normally in going to formal counseling, but she's here counseling people. She said,
I'm educating.
Listen, I'm coming.
Also, for you have to go to me. I'm educating.
Okay, let me say something. Because Doka said one of the things that can destroy your relationship, and it's very true, is money. It's money. So I think that we should be careful about that aspect. If you go through marriages that has collapsed in this country, especially in Netherlands here, I think about 70% of them has to do with money. This is cheating. This is not being transparent. This wants me to spend my money. And then you see, the sad thing is that you will spend your money as a man, and the woman will go and do the project in her name because you don't put your money together. Yeah. No man will do that also. You understand?
Yeah. Dorcas, say a worry for any dan what do you expect from your man as a wife, expecting from your husband? Say obey ma asumdriaba.
Before I talk about this, you've asked me, I want to talk about the money aspect because in Yampa.
Okay.
Fine. Pastor has said so many things that mijitu. But the thing is, I think some of our men should be matured enough. Why am I saying this? The government gives this money for the upkeep of children. Oh, Papa, na there now we it's a government now fiscal number. Won't you just go to town one day and just buy maybe a shoe for your son? Every while whoop him. You see, at the end say we should remember that we are nurturing these kids. Some families naturally sikano because I am mommy into the family accounting, and this boy always sees mommy buying things for or no. Daddy is not buying nothing. Once a while, emotionally, you're training this boy. Once a while, you're training this boy psychologically, everything. Children sometimes need gifts because when you read this psychology a bit, you realize that even sometimes idea akwala person wo che na de something to make akwala feel is idea no ye ne papa na ne mami ni aso. Father, when you're coming out ufra bontin ba to bibi ma oba, not because the government has given oyiri sikanti, you would deprive the child of all these things. Say sikani bedi mami hona mami de to turn man kolana because there is no communication between the two of you. You don't know what the woman is using the money for. And these kids in this country, I'm telling you, so say who just can one say one urajedi now to shuba kokras kani muebu. But some of the fathers will forget all these things and still consider that mami ni chiti omo. I don't have a problem with that, but if you're a responsible father, upia bontina oba within a year, just try and buy your child a socks. The child will also see that this one daddy bought for me. Then yes, I could say, mommy, who bought this for me? Then the mommy will say, it was me and daddy. The child need a vivid, if we talk about vivid, the child need a vivid, evidence. Said that in addition in same. We should do all these things for our kids. It's necessary. But we don't. It's not about anything. You should just try and buy something small. We know the government money is there. But still, the child doesn't want the government money.
Yeah.
I think
Now, my question now, Busan. Also, for Obeka, we answer.
Mami answer my
question.
Now we are not so from Kantam.
Okay. Now we Busa say, "Monyan tokwa." And then I will expect it as a wife from your husband. So, by ya, asum baby fee.
I didn't say and talk about a starty free obi so. Inti I didn't what do you expect from your husband? My husband is the head. That is, you're trying to solve na enye you know, na se ultimate ne heady you know ebem. But I think say whatever generated that problem no, say you oba no cry ne free so you should be able to go before the man and say apologize and I say bibia. Obiara ni kunu netia, obiara ni kunu ni weak point. You can't tell me you don't know where your husband's weak point is. Me meaning baby, I made the error. Meaning me can't say I know what to do. It's not sexually, but I know the eye to give him. I know the dress to wear. Now, just say, I know the things to do. But we shouldn't forget that a dear a problem no. Na abba montem, you should always talk about it. You should talk about it. We should be vulnerable to our partners. What am I say? Most of the times, I in some cases, ne see wa ware, men you no put ne go aware no. Yen kitten na we don't solve it no. And to me fear I make it sure say, a dear kitten me couldn't be me pekasa. Now kasa home, and now kasa home. Okay, see babe. Make her talk. Because I did some man can see it will become chronic. You are building upon it. Asha see kitty saying I need to stop it before. And he also does that with me. What am I saying? Yeah. Me, I'm the type said me who said me kunu bon koma me bapi my bisa say day na moka no. Day na see because on a normal day no, he always forget to tell me say Docas say ni say na course. And if I go and ask him, so it becomes a problem. So I've developed a strategy. I hear and talk wentem de bia. Wohu. Say I'm a nice way to ask him. Say anytime be me who say me share baso na be na me say or can say be ye na person me manu to my first na ma go straight. Me kope e chana then am okay na what to me ho. But this time I don't go like that. Me train 2 days, 3 days be a good mood muno. Na me call na me say cha. Last time na okay bo say wa big Judy na I'm sit down and say, why didn't I develop this strategy long time ago? So it shouldn't be my man coming to me to make say a problem about maybe a problem if we say be man na problem ne buy it free so buy it there. I think my husband should find a very nice way to talk to me. Sometimes if you want my person me buefu gidi, but my husband knows my soft part. You can go to town. Oh, buddy, I want to be man. You can just buy me a gift. Recently, my birthday, my husband bought me a designer bag that I've never seen before. And immediately, he bought me the bag. I was in a state of shock. Instead of me appreciating him, I have to take a picture and send it to my kid sister in Ghana and ask him, is this real? But I mean, I make it a bag, you know. So I asked him later and said, why did you buy me this bag? And the answer he gave me, I can't give you, but it was the sweetest thing he has ever said to me.
Wow.
You understand? So it depends on where the situation is coming from. Yeah. We have to know our men. Our men also have to know us. A problem, but it wouldn't be something that someone will say, Doctor says she doesn't want counseling. Now you can counselors are more no over theory aspect of it.
Yeah. Right. So
I think Nianam person me kaka cry about saying that fathers also should apart from the government's money, fathers also should learn to buy something
for their
for
kids.
their kids. I agree. But also the woman also should not makes it looks like the government money given to them, they are buying the things for the kids.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Yakota,
Yeah.
No. If there is a suitable home, oh yeah, even some women will give their money, will buy it and give it to their husband to give it to the kids. Do you
Also,
understand?
I will have a problem with that one because also I'm emphasizing on the fact that I said if there is communication, you wouldn't say about discussing or the makolano. What you say? But then it shouldn't be that money. What I'm talking about is not that money.
I agree with that area that as fathers, they should also buy things for their children.
Kid.
I agree with you 100%. But the aspect I want to correct is that the money also given to the wives should not be like they are buying for the children and makes it as if their fathers do not care. That is because listen, if you set your kids also against your husband, it will turn on you.
Also, for they are not the women, most of them do not do that. But also, for the thing is, I buy this kind of farm, I'm in accounting. Aqualan person shempaboa. Fine, Abia, the father most of the times don't go with the woman. Mama, ne de Aqualana ko shop no koto. Aqualana dream, what is the child thinking? The child will not ask the mother. Some of them will not ask, Mama, Daddy, neto mbobo we am. What I'm saying is that one that you are saying is also there. But Papa phone, they shouldn't have it in their mind. Say government, like what you said. I don't know how to.
I don't think the government money is enough to take care of the children. We all agree with that. Yeah. You understand? So that is why. I mean, I think that there are certain things that shouldn't be issued.
But that is the biggest issue in this country. Also, we should these things that we are talking about. If we take 10 people here, 9.5 are going through this. Maybe a be my well, so this is a discussion, but 9.5.
Yeah, also, me pacho, tell me. What is the role of a husband when it comes to conflict in the house or in the marriage?
Oh, I think all that needs to be said. Dorcas has said it. Because when it comes to conflict, it is two people that fight. You understand?
Yeah.
If you know you are wrong, each of you should learn how to say, I'm sorry. But the problem is when you know you are wrong and you've decided not to say, I'm sorry, and you see that friction escalating, then that is where you need to sacrifice your ego and come in as a leader to put things in place as a man or as a husband. You understand? Yeah. Because as we all know, there are certain things that we don't actually focus on it, but they have been an element destroying marriages. And there is one thing about men that sometimes people don't know. A man can left a marriage and will still be remaining for 3 years. Do you understand? And that little thing, maybe that little thing alone is not something. If you ask the man, why have you left? He will not have any tangible excuse. But that little thing, that thing that we did not pay attention to, because the devil has a way of playing on people's mind. And then the words you hear has an influence on you. Very, very much. And then another thing is that if you are a woman and you know you are at fault, learn to say, I'm sorry. But the worst issue is living with a person when they are even wrong and they don't know and they don't accept. That is the problem.
Okay. Dorcas, what is your advice to the young people that want to be fathers? What will you tell them, especially concerning parenting? What advice will you give it to them? And add your last words as usual.
What I would advise young couple who wants to be parents is for them to do the act of having a child first. And when the child comes in existence, they learn on the job. The thing is, bringing a child is not an easy task. Today, for instance, I just left my daughter there within 2 seconds. When I came, she's used pencil to color the whole generation of my house. I was so angry to the extent that I wish I would just pick this child and throw her away. Can I do that?
No.
So you should arm yourself, because these children are coming with different temperaments. They are coming with different characters. And most of the times, Osofo says something that when something bad happens to you, you should learn from it. That is not how he said it, but you should learn from it, either the negative way or the positive way. All of us come from backgrounds that Africans, it's here that we've come. Hanamaba and Amabe who says some of these things that we saw in our parents, had psychological effect on us. But when I was coming, though I've gone to school, I didn't know this. Because me banoko school, Adiaki to be near Freya say she needs to talk to the school when she needs to talk to the school. Inti yadwin na niema bi wo mu a ye hu ye papa ne ye maame hu a e wo yadwin mu a hayen wo be wo ba. Is this thing going to have a negative effect on the child or a positive effect? All these things you see nyame adom and I'm hunu, you can just sit down and then learn all these things. Learn all these things. What am I say? Sometimes, me, I always believe in practicality. And kolano mo wo area muno. And now Obiba, how do you relate with Obiba? There is this woman in my area who was always doing this thing. Na me si me nyini amesa. Si ekodi agrona so bi bu ne ba. Na wa so ne ba ne nsa na odna ba na boni bi. Se ame wa kwentu. Ha won't me fa oba nkonko gino bi ba nim se boni bi. But that is what I've learned. Am I going to do what she's doing? The mission and I say I'm going to develop a very good thing. So having Kolano, it's a idea. I don't know how parents be any the way or beti media but one ya Kolano wofi. The Akolani ye or said this time 1 year you need to learn something better. One ya Kolano net you, but they be our mommy. You need to learn from the child. Send a bay beti me bring ya Kolano up. Well, so when she fear Kolano, you my son always come home and tell me, Mama this, Mama that, Mama this. At first, I always get angry. Fight with him. One day, I sat down and say, because I'm always shouting, say, see, obo on can't bio. On can't me bio. Recently, he has a little phone, and them one amity say, oh, no, be, on me, mammy, ekasa ogano say, Grandma, I have a girlfriend. My son is 9 years old. And then I heard that. So immediately, normally I would just go and take the phone and throw it away. But I called him and said, Jaden, do you have a girlfriend? I said, Mama, Miss Rosa Mekacho. And I'm saying, no, tell me, I'm happy. I said, yes, I have a girlfriend. He's Juan Lian. And I'm saying, what do you understand by having a girlfriend? What am I saying?
Yeah.
My son told my husband said, oh, it's a good thing. You grow a woman because of Bani or Bearmani man. He said, good. That is the understanding of my husband. But that is not how I want to do it. And in Kolano, we learn from them. We are from Kolano to teach them what is right. That is what I have. And my advice for young girls are almost be worried. Say, Miss Rewom. Nyame wadom na so a young girl na se wonya be ma na wo be ware na. 1, be vulnerable to that guy. Don't hide anything. Don't hide anything. These are some of the mistakes we did. You person you claim me say you're a good girl, so we are pretending. I'm telling you, who are you no or no style now or peno. Echen obi original red light district. What you must say? The real men want excitement. Don't pretend at all. Sa ade bi na ye no. Eno your girlfriend boyfriend no. Uba aware ni mo anka say ho na adwuma no wo. Tell him o problem bia do okwa. That's not yours. Because a man not there to live with a man for a man to understand you constantly, na kono all the time, obey wasem no eye adwuma. Enti when start girlfriend boyfriend now who say sa attributes we na nipa ni relate ma wa, don't worry yourself. Because to ube se sambe ma adwen no enye easy. We a girlfriend boyfriend na easy because me feel say me ni kunu ya twene mpana na na me bi a otimi ye ma me girlfriend boy ye ba ware no feel say we are together ehun hia sa biom. What you must say? Enti so wo be ware a na se nyame ye wadom na wunya be ma wo feel say we na person in it na go low, let him know everything to the depth. Se nya wo dia na okwa wo nkwa ware nim foforo be samba na se wo ka wanu tum na se wo kowura mu a
Okay, I think advice I will give to the young people who wants to, especially the guys, I will tell them marriage is not for the boys, and they need maturity, so they should actually know that they are matured, and also they have to understand that marriage involves leadership. Therefore, they should develop their leadership traits, because if you don't plan and you become a husband and you give birth, you are going to burden the society, because you can't raise the child, you can't be responsible for the child, you can't perform your duties as is expected from you. Therefore, they should actually take their time, they should plan, they should understand the responsibilities involved, the tasks ahead before they embark it. And then they should also put prayer into it, study their Bible, and allow God to influence their decisions and direct them. And they should always remember Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No one goes to the Father except through him.
Amen.
He is the season for this season.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Reverend, for coming. We are so much grateful to have you. We hope that when the time comes, you have to come again. You will avail yourself
Of
for
course,
us
you will come
to
again.
come again on this program.
We will
God
try.
bless you for coming.
Amen.
And thank you so much, Sister Dorcas. Your input is amazing. We just want to thank God for your life, for bringing you to this set. We are so much grateful for you. What can I say? I always say that marriage is created by God. So if there is something you can't do, go back to the owner, the person who created it. And after then, you have to be honest with yourself. Be honest to yourself and be honest in your relationship. That's the only way that can bring happiness in the home. And this has been the marriage series. We see you next week. It's bye from us. Thank you.